I'm rolling.
You can't let a stranger or a stat determine what the outcome of your life's gonna be.
I didn't have an MBA. We had no idea how to build what we just sold.
I'm doing something that is really advancing humanity.
Is it only a dream and still a dream?
You can't go back.
Let's ignite your experience.
Like right out of an Agatha Christie novel, three people seemingly separated by miles have much more in common than they don't.
Miami style, God.
What causes some people to step out on the road and into the unknown? Why do they leave behind perceived safety and have the need to explore either something out there or something within themselves?
So you follow us. Yeah.
Route 66. Originally, it was the connector from Chicago to Los Angeles. In 1926, it was one of our nation's most important arteries, bringing the big city types to the small, disconnected towns of the time. It's the road to opportunity, if you will. Flagstaff, a gateway, a destination, a stop-off on the road to a dream. Over 100 trains pass through here every day, and Route 66 passes right through the center of town. It has a coolness to it without even trying hard.
Split the Dutch, roll up the strongest, live it up tomorrow and promise. What's up? My name is Transfer, Flagstaff, Arizona. Much love. Stellar Developments, Dark Sky City.
Innovation is happening everywhere. There's a lot of rich history here. And it still has that feeling of a self-sufficient, true grit frontier town. At its heart is its legacy to a cauldron of technology. Towns like Flagstaff were founded by the brave and crazy ones, the explorers, who over a century and a half ago tossed their worldly possessions into a covered wagon and navigated in an unexplored America. Too often we define people and cultures by their differences. And what if instead we define ourselves by what we have in common?
It was really just getting the doors open. I mean, I did this whole thing myself.
Ah, yes, beer. Done correctly, it's one of the simple luxuries of life. Wanderlust Brewing Company here in Flagstaff. Can you show me how you make it?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's
Can we
take a
take
walk.
these?
This is like a sample port here.
Okay.
So we could taste a flat beer if you
Got
want.
it.
You know, so.
Sure, I'm up for it if you got it in there.
Oh, yeah.
Does alcohol content ever drive your decisions?
It does sometimes, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So people want to get fucked up on something, you'll run it longer?
Yeah.
This is S&M almost, bro. I mean, look, icky,
true.
icky,
Yeah.
icky,
Yeah.
come on. Nate Friedman, the founder of Wanderlust Brewing, who during the day is a medical device superhero saving lives. At night, he elegantly meshes part art and part science in order to brew a perfectly frothy glass of mother's milk. Your day job is what?
So I'm a mechanical engineer at Gore. We try and figure out what are the unmet needs out there in this medical device world, and how can we meet them? How can we design devices that'll take care of those?
Nate and his team develop medical devices that save millions of lives a year. They produce specialty catheters that are basically long tubes that navigate the body in order to deliver a therapy that prevents you from having a heart attack or even a stroke. Let Nate explain that to you.
Garden hose. Have you ever had a garden hose that blew up because it got left on or something like that?
electrical tape around it.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially what happens is that garden hose gets a weak spot in it where it's kinked or something like that, and it starts to expand out and it creates like a balloon. So you've got good garden hose on either side of it, and then you've got this blown up section in the middle. Well, that's essentially an aneurysm. That's what we do. I mean, that's the dirty little secret. We're glorified plumbers, you know. Well, maybe we aren't. The doctors are. We're the plumbing supply house, you know. Yeah.
You've been in a corporate role for 13 years, if I do my math correctly, roughly. And you're an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. I always say I have to like flip a little bit of a switch when I walk in here. because I walk in and I'm like, you broke another glass tonight. What do you think, I'm made of money? And then I go to Gore and I'm like, oh, it's a $500 purchase order? Like, whatever, I don't even think about that. Like, but at the end of the day, like the parallels of like, you know, figuring out how to solve these problems and every day is something new and every day is a new challenge. It's just who I am and it's how I think, and that's the role I'm in there and that's the role I'm in here. And my goal is to save somebody's life. You know, obviously I make beer as well, and that doesn't necessarily save people's lives, but it probably enriches some people's lives. I don't know.
With some killer craft beer in my belly, hopping on my Harley, and by the way, it was 24 hours later, I'm exploring Route 66, arguably a land that was clearly built to ride a motorcycle.
I didn't get my makeup either.
No makeup today?
No makeup today.
Cool. That's cool. Uli Hauk, the owner of Eagle Rider Harley Davidson in Flagstaff, is planted right here on Route 66.
So where'd the American dream come from Germany?
I fell in love with the US since the first day. Everything was amazing. It was almost 30 years right now.
What part of Germany were you from?
Frankfurt, in the middle of Western Germany.
Sure, of course. So you went full out American, Route 66, motorcycle, Harley Davidson, right? You didn't, hot dogs, where's the apple pie and the Chevrolet, right? I mean, you absolutely hit it straight up. You weren't kidding around, you went all in.
Right, all in,
Yeah.
all in. We left everything, we sold everything except our son. He decided to stay in Germany.
Yeah.
The price was not high enough. and then we came over with only 26 boxes of our own stuff.
Right.
It's really great.
That's why we call burning the boats the Cortez moment. There's a moment in your life when you make a decision and you take the boats across that ocean
Okay,
and then you burn them. So you can't go back.
understand. Cool, I like it.
That's the burn the boats moment. And sometimes in
Yes.
life you have those.
Yes, and I'm happy I burned the boat.
Awesome. It's awesome. I am about to get crushed by Danny Kasperzik on mountain biking. Fortunately, through the magic of filmmaking, it's not going to be a really long ride. Dan Kasperzik and I met over 20 years ago. Dan is a serial entrepreneur who successfully built and sold a number of businesses in the medical device industry. Dan could be living in San Fran or Boston, but nope, he lives right here in Flagstaff. Dan's chosen Flagstaff for the creative engineering, the science, talent, and lifestyle. But with those shorts, he definitely missed out on the style side of Flagstaff.
There was a lot of, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have sleepless nights. I mean, and now it's the sleepless nights aren't because your paycheck's not coming in. The sleepless nights are because you've got 70 employees, and those 70 employees have families, and you become family, you become friends with these people. And those 70 employees have jumped onto the ship with you, and you guys are taking it somewhere. I didn't have an MBA. I came in this with the MBA I earned through the real world, and I was famous for selling stuff that we'd never made or knew how to make.
I think part of the reason for me driving this series, this docu-series we're putting together, is the event I had, and I got an ICD in me, as you know. We've talked about that before. It changes the way you look at the device world. I was in Mallorca, training cycling. Just finished the big climb of Sa Calabra, which is a big, iconic climb. And pull out of the parking lot, we're 2x2 going down the road, and all of a sudden I'm on the bike and my hands start to shake. I can't hardly breathe. At that point, it was like breathing through a cocktail straw. And my vision occludes, and then, bah, out. I'm like, bro, we're gonna play extreme ball here. Got myself an energy healer, right? I still credit her. With a lot of that. This is a show about survivors, those who sprint towards possibility and are not hostage to probability. This is all about suffocating doubt. This is about taking medicine and medical devices and entrepreneurs and mindset so the people watching this don't have to take the advice
of the doctor who's going to put them right down the middle. You can't let a stranger or a stat determine what the outcome of your life's going to be.
I'm doing something that is really advancing humanity.
I didn't have an MBA. We had no idea how to build what we just sold.
Let's ignite your experience.
Show one in the can, motorcycles, beer, super cool people, and especially that tech. Until next time, True Future.